Hello friends, you will know China better if you watch my channel. Political commentator Zhang revealed information from sources claiming that Xi Jinping has internally designated Zhang Youxia as committing treason and collaborating with the enemy. He is accused of secretly communicating with the United States and leaking military intelligence, which allegedly made it impossible for China to launch a military attack on Taiwan. According to the report, both Zhang Youxia and Liu Xinli have been politically classified not simply as insubordinate officials, but as American spies guilty of treason. This internal classification is not currently intended for public release. However, the information has reportedly already been circulated internally among senior military officers, bureau-level officials, and technology sector cadres as a warning. The official internal party classification is said to be treason, which is the most serious political crime category. It is considered an enemy contradiction, more serious in nature than simply subverting state power. There are two key points behind this classification. If Zhang Youxia were labeled simply as opposing Xi personally, it would make Xi look weak and could encourage others to oppose him. By labeling him a traitor, he is morally and politically condemned. This follows the model used in the case of Lin Biao, when Mao Zedong accused Lin Biao of treason and defecting to the enemy. In reality, the logic that someone at Zhang's level would secretly collaborate with the United States is questionable, but politically it serves a purpose, so the accusation specifically claims he secretly communicated with the U.S. The claim further states that Xi Jinping is currently unable to attack Taiwan. The explanation being circulated internally is that Zhang Youxia and Liu Xinli leaked China's core military secrets to the United States, making an attack on Taiwan impossible. It is also claimed that Xi had previously promised internally within the party that if Taiwan were not taken by 2027, he would step down or relinquish power. Now, since he wants to remain in power but cannot attack Taiwan, he needs a scapegoat. The narrative would be that the Taiwan plan failed because of enemy agents within the military, like Zhang Youxia. The source also claimed that officials at the department level and above are holding frequent meetings with themes such as preventing enemy infiltration and catching spies and traitors. The situation is described as more chaotic than the Cultural Revolution period. At that time, many people believed Mao, but now very few people truly believe Xi. The information also claims that in addition to Beijing banning drones, Shenzhen has also banned drone flights. The alleged reason is that Xi Jinping's family members are in Shenzhen, and the restrictions are to protect his family. There are even internal rumors that drones are not allowed inside some buildings. These are the main points from Zhang Shui's reported leak. Political commentator Kai Shinkuan revealed that Yi Xianrong, the former deputy consul general of the Chinese consulate in San Francisco, is currently being held at the Huangshe No. 1 detention center in Hubei province. According to the report, Yi's case was heard in 2025 at the Huangshe Intermediate People's Court, but due to a lack of evidence of criminal wrongdoing, no verdict has been issued to this day. The source claims that Yi Xianrong was framed and imprisoned by the Hubei Provincial Commission for Discipline Inspection with the purpose of forcing him out of his position so that someone else could take his place. He is said to have come from a rural farming family and advanced through his own efforts. He reportedly passed multiple national civil service examinations, rising from county magistrate of Jushi County in Hubei province to deputy director of the Hunan Provincial Department of Science and Technology. He later passed exams to join the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, serving as deputy consul general in San Francisco, and eventually returned to Hubei to serve as party secretary of Tianmen. The whistleblower described this as a typical case showing that, without connections in the central government, it is difficult to be an official, and characterized it as a wrongful conviction. On March 10, 2024, authorities officially announced that Yi Xianrong was under investigation. A notice from the Hubei Provincial Commission for Discipline Inspection and Supervision stated that Yi, then a member of the party leadership group and deputy director of the Hubei Provincial Department of Civil Affairs, was suspected of serious violations of discipline and law and was undergoing disciplinary review and supervisory investigation. It is also reported that Yi's mother has recently been appealing publicly on behalf of her son, claiming injustice. The Daoxian Massacre, also known as the Daoxian Incident, refers to the large-scale massacre that took place from August 13 to October 17, 1967, lasting 66 days, in Dao County of the Lingling region, Hunan Province. The killings targeted the so-called four categories: landlords, rich peasants, counter-revolutionaries, and bad elements, and their children. According to statistics, 4,519 people died during this period, including 4,193 who were killed and 326 who were forced to commit suicide. Many years later, only Dao County and 10 other counties in the Lingling region conducted investigations, which is why casualty figures exist. Across the 11 counties, 7,696 people were killed, 1,397 were forced to commit suicide, and 2,146 were injured or permanently disabled. Among the dead, the oldest was 78 years old, and the youngest was only 10 days old. In total, 9,093 lives disappeared during the 66 days of killing, and 117 families were completely wiped out. Recollection of Zhou Kun. On August 26, 1967, on a pitch-black night, the indiscriminate killing continued in Yuanshangu, Dao County, Hunan Province. Zhou Kun, a mother of 3 children, was a teacher at Hengeling Central Primary School. Her husband Zhang Hanzheng had once been her colleague, but because he was labeled the son of a landlord, he had been removed from the teaching staff the previous year and sent back to the countryside for labor reform. After her husband was arrested and subjected to struggle sessions, Zhou Kun lived in constant fear. That night, she had finally fallen asleep with her 3 children. Suddenly, urgent knocking woke her. Before she could finish dressing, the village party secretary Tang Xinghao and militia battalion commander Zhang Wenming burst into the house. They shouted viciously, "Get up! Get up! Go to a meeting! Take care of your younger brother and sister. Mom will be back soon," Zhou Kun told her eldest son before leaving, after running back to the bedside to comfort the crying children. When she was pushed to the threshing ground, she saw blazing fires and dozens of militiamen holding machetes or shotguns, standing like wolves and tigers. In the firelight, she saw her husband, tightly bound with iron wire, along with 14 landlords, rich peasants, and their children, all trembling with fear. Zhou Kun heard someone say to the party secretary, "Zhang Hanzheng still has 3 kids." So the party secretary sent people to Zhou Kun's house and dragged her 3 crying children to the threshing ground as well. Then the group began marching. Although Zhou Kun came from a poor peasant family, because she had married a landlord's son, her hands were tied too. Her 3 children followed behind, crying constantly. Zhou Kun thought they were being taken to the district office, but when they reached Mufing Mountain, the party secretary Tang Xinghao ordered them to stop and assemble on the spot. Tang Xinghao announced loudly and arrogantly, "We poor and lower-middle peasants are the Supreme Court. Today we sentence you to death." The execution method was called throwing into the nitrate cave, meaning pushing victims into a bottomless karst cave filled with sharp stalactites. The executions began. The party secretary called out names one by one, and militiamen dragged each condemned person to the cave and threw them in. When Zhang Hanzheng's name was called, 2 militiamen dragged him like a lamb to slaughter. He did not resist, nor could he resist. With a sorrowful look, he gazed at his pitiful wife and children. "Dad! Dad!" the children cried desperately. Zhou Kun tried to rush forward like a madwoman, but was shoved back by the men. Zhou Kun was the 8th name called. Her 3 children cried, "Mom! Mom!" in heartbreaking despair. The men pushed the children away. Zhou Kun did not cry. She could not cry in front of her children. She comforted them, saying, "Mom will be back soon." At the cave entrance, cold wind howled, and the darkness was terrifying. "Kneel down!" 2 men forced Zhou Kun to the ground, struck the back of her head with an iron spike, and then kicked her into the dark cave. She did not know how long had passed before she heard someone calling Mom and woke up. Her 3 children and another 4-year-old girl had also been thrown into the cave. Because bodies had piled up at the bottom, they did not die from the fall. Her eldest daughter untied the rope binding Zhou Kun's hands. The next day, people threw stones into the cave. Zhou Kun and her eldest daughter crawled and rolled to avoid them and fell to a lower level. There she discovered, to her shock, that her husband and her other 2 children were there too. Among piles of corpses, their whole family had survived. From the hell outside the cave, they had fallen into the hell inside the cave, and the family was reunited again. In the pitch-black cave, the family huddled together, crying quietly, not daring to cry aloud. Zhang Hanzheng was still bound with iron wire and could not be freed. The children kept crying for water and food. Zhou Kun was in agony but helpless. Zhang Hanzheng lost his sanity, his throat twitching, muttering incoherently. Zhou Kun grabbed him. "Hanzheng, wake up! Stay awake!" He suddenly went silent and collapsed stiffly. After several days, the children gradually stopped moving. The eldest son died first, then the younger son, then the eldest daughter. The dying Zhang Hanzheng asked for water. Zhou Kun soaked a piece of clothing in water and squeezed drops into his mouth. His throat moved a few times, but he did not swallow. His head tilted, and he died. Of the family of 5 reunited in the hell inside the cave, only Zhou Kun remained alive. Finally, Zhou Kun was rescued by 2 of her students. She had spent 7 days and 7 nights in the dark cave, but after she came out of the cave, the world outside was still hell. She continued to be hunted and persecuted.